So you drive a Toyota RAV4. Don't scroll. If that's you, hit like right now and type reliable in the comments, because I already know that word is going to show up. This isn't a horsepower chart, it's a mirror with headlights. If you own a RAV4, you didn't just buy a crossover, you selected a personality preset on wheels. And yes, it's the safe preset. You can market it as adventure, but your roof rack mostly hauls paper towels and a plastic reindeer every December. Still, let's talk about the fantasy that's shipped with your floor mats. Toyota's ads show misty trailheads and lantern light, a kayak sliding into a lake so calm it looks photoshopped, a golden dog grinning out of a muddy RAV4 trail. That image lives rent-free in your head. Your real Saturday is different. Youth soccer, Trader Joe's flowers, a Costco return line, and a Starbucks mobile order that is always just a minute away. The steepest grade you've climbed lately is the parking garage ramp that made the CVT whine a little. It's okay. The car knows. It was built for the long game you actually play. RAV4 owners love numbers because numbers love them back. You know your MPG like other people know birthdays. You have a spreadsheet comparing hybrid versus gas, and you've said total cost of ownership out loud at dinner. You respect warranties, rotate tires on schedule, and set PSI to what the door sticker whispers. Your glove box holds folded napkins and a tape measure just in case. The cargo area? Blanket, first aid, reusable grocery bags, and a rogue tennis ball that has lived there since the before times. When you brake, produce does not roll, it nestles. When you accelerate, coffee does not spill, it nods. But here's the quiet truth you don't post. We can pretend without consequences. Socially, the RAV4 is camouflage. In the school pickup line, you blend into a tide of CRVs, Rogues, CX-5s, Tucsons, and exactly 2 stalwart minivans. Blending is the point. You don't want car small talk with strangers at the gas pump. You want no drama. You want the key to work, the doors to lock, the Bluetooth to connect, and the lane keep to mind its business. When a neighbor notices, they say, "Smart choice," which is the sexiest compliment an actuary can give. You nod like a monk receiving a vow, practical, quiet, unshakable. Now the roast you came for. Nobody has a RAV4 poster. Nobody names a RAV4 in a movie like it's a character. You didn't chase lust, you chased certainty. The RAV4 is the beverage water at dinner. Hydrating, competent, ignored until the table catches fire. Tragic. And yet, notice who is stranded on the shoulder versus who waves as they pass. Notice whose dash lights glow like a Christmas tree and whose car simply starts. Boring becomes brilliant the 4th time in a row you arrive on time in bad weather, heat blasting, podcasts humming, without making the night about yourself. Let's also honor the hybrid crowd. You love the smug dopamine hit of the eco gauge kissing the leaf. You feather the throttle like a violin bow. You brake like an artist to squeeze electrons back into the pack. You treat efficiency like an Olympic sport nobody else entered. And you still want the medal. It's fine. Put hypermiler in your bio. Just don't draft a semi and call it science. Relationship dynamic? Your friends bring chaos. You bring car seats that actually latch. They plan vibes. You plan parking. They say, let's risk it. You say, let's not. You are the group's fail-safe, their weather alert, their plan B, their text me when you get home. And when they forget to text, you actually follow up. The RAV4 is not flashy, but it is faithful. It is the vehicle form of, I got you. If you've ever said it's not exciting, but it's perfect for me, hit like. If you've convinced a relative to buy one, subscribe right now. You're part of Toyota's unpaid sales force, and I'm paying you in validation. Comment your trim. LE, XLE, Limited, TRD off-road if you cosplay gravel, and confess your real reason for buying. Reliability? Resale? Or because it felt like the least dumb decision in a fluorescent dealership full of temptations? We've all been there. Here's the core confession. You didn't buy a car. You bought peace of mind. Silence over sizzle. Consistency over chaos. The RAV4 is a boundary with cup holders. It keeps life from leaking into disaster. It's the inbox zero of transportation. Does that make you vanilla? Maybe, but vanilla is the base of every good milkshake. It's flexible, timeless, and leaves room for whatever life throws at you. Promotions, puppies, twins, a houseplant obsession that turns your cargo area into a mobile greenhouse. Do you off-road? Sometimes. A gravel turnout counts if you brought snacks. You aim a camera at the horizon, caption it, "outside today," and then check the weather radar because you respect lightning. You keep a poncho, sunscreen, and exactly one bungee cord that has been temporary since 2019. You dream of national parks. Then you book an Airbnb 5 minutes from the gate because tents are for people who like damp socks. Financially, your personality has a budget. You read the fine print. You knew the APR before the salesperson brought up floor mats. You negotiated the out-the-door price like a chess player. You set a reminder for your registration renewal and another to change the cabin filter yourself because YouTube said it takes 4 minutes. You understand depreciation like a weather pattern and brag about resale like it's a Roth IRA. None of this is sexy. All of it is grown up. And yet, beneath the caution, you carry a quiet flex. When the storm hits, your car starts. When the group trip needs a driver, your car goes. When other people forget chargers, umbrellas, snacks, jumper cables, you shrug and produce all 4. You aren't the loudest or the fastest. You're the reason everyone actually gets home. That's not flash. That's competence. It doesn't trend, but it wins. Time for the part that stings and heals at once. Nobody applauds a RAV4 at Cars and Coffee. Nobody has ever whispered "rev it" to a RAV4. But when a kid in a coiled-over coupe detonates a rod bearing, you will be the ride they call. Your car will idle like it's bored, sip regular, and make adulthood look easy. That is a flex louder than exhaust, reliability as rebellion. Of course, you fantasized about something spicier. A 4Runner that rides like a brick of heritage, a Wrangler that turns every commute into a rattle test, a Model Y that streams Netflix while you wait for electrons. Very futuristic. But when you imagine owning those, you also imagine the bills, the quirks, the service appointments that devour PTO. You choose peace on purpose. That's not fear, that's design. Engagement break? If you've ever used your RAV4's cargo cover as a stage for a grocery Tetris championship, tab like. If you've convinced 2 or more family members to defect to Team Toyota, subscribe and comment "commission please." Tell me your most RAV4 moment. Airport run at 4 a.m., soccer tournament logistics, or the time your friend with the giant truck called you for a jump because his battery died playing country music at Idle. Under the hood of your personality, you believe in maintenance before miracles, in checking maps before manifesting, in making lists and actually bringing the list. You carry snacks labeled for emergencies and eat them during minor traffic. You hate confrontation with people but love confrontation with problems. You are the human embodiment of a torque spec. So, Toyota RAV4 owners, this is who you really are. Practical without apology, calm in a crisis, risk-selective, schedule-faithful, secretly sentimental about sunsets you still plan to chase. You are safety with a daydream. Your car is not a headline, it's a guarantee. And in a world addicted to noise, the quiet guarantee wins the week. If that felt accurate, say so below. If it annoyed you, prove me wrong in the comments with the wildest place your RAV4 has actually gone, plus a picture of mud deeper than your ankle. Either way, hit like so the algorithm lets other practical people find their tribe. Subscribe if you want me to roast your neighbor's CRV and then make them watch it during the HOA meeting. Nobody's safe here. Every car is a confession. On this channel, we read them out loud and sign with our keys. Smash like, comment reliable, and subscribe for the CRV roast soon.